Gonna keep that vibe. Rubber side down.
You alright there, ladies and gents? How's it going? The GorillaBiker recently challenged me in one of his videos to talk about what era I would have liked to have been brought up in to be a motorcyclist and all that sort of stuff. And his video was really quite interesting. I'm going to put a link to that at the end of this, and I'll also put a link to his channel and stuff down in the description below. Now, it's quite an interesting topic, this, and I've enjoyed watching the other people's videos that have also done this. I haven't caught up on all of them yet, but I'm hoping to do that before this video goes live. Yeah, it's quite interesting to see what people think, the nostalgia effect of motorcycles, the rose-tinted spectacles and all that sort of stuff. Because we've really got to admit that the bikes that we've got now, today, are as good as they've ever been. They've never been better, hence progress and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it is an interesting topic, and I pose the same question to any one of you that fancies doing so. This was the GorillaBiker who set this challenge out, so yeah, give him some credit on that, and hit him up and let him know that you've responded. Anyway, so where would I start? Now, there's been some golden ages of biking, but to be honest, I think I was pretty much bang on the money. The way I was brought up to bike, starting at sort of 16 years old and coming on to now, I've been in a fantastic era of motorcycles. Now, it's slightly twisting the question a little bit, because I mean, well, I've answered the challenge. I'm in the era I want. I'm already there. I love it. I think it's fantastic. But had I had the money, I would have chosen a few select bikes to have got me kick-started on the biking ladder. Now, although the video in the background here is me off-roading, there's not really any off-road bikes in this list of bikes that I would have done differently. That's not to say I wouldn't have had any dirt bikes, but this list finishes pretty much up at the point where I got the Moto Guzzi, which was when I started having the sort of money to have the sort of bikes that I wanted when I wanted them. So I kind of, from then on in, I got the bikes I wanted. So where do we start? Well, back in 1992-ish, I was around 17 years old and able to start riding 125s. Now the one I want is kind of a bit tuned, and probably wouldn't have been learner legal, but back then we didn't really have learner legal 125s, we just audio restricted them anyway. So I'd have loved to have had a 1992 Yamaha TZR 125R SP. They are quite a beast indeed, and you'd be surprised how fast a little 125 can go. And I think that little blue smell, the little haze of two-stroke is just, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I'm so lucky to have been able to ride some two-strokes as I was learning to ride. So yes, that's where I would go as my first bike, assuming I didn't start on a 50, that is. But yeah, they're stunning. I'll put one up on the screen, or I've already put one up on the screen, and yeah, that would have got me going, and I think that would have kept me going for a couple of years, or hopefully a few more years. But I'm kind of jumping now, so my next bike would have been a 1997 YGV 250 Gamma SP, which was the VJ23 model. These things were absolute fire-breathing beasts for a little 250cc motorcycle, 130-ish miles an hour, and I think around 70 brake horsepower. They were quite the beast, and very tricky as well, and light. I think they were only about 130 kilograms or something like that, which is light for a road bike. They look absolutely stunning, and again, it's that two-stroke blue haze. Stuff those rose tinted spectacles. I've got blues haze tinted spectacles. I would love to have some more hot, more special, more racy two-strokes in my riding career. So yeah, that would have been my second bike. And again, I've been riding in this era, so I'm allowed to choose this one. It would have been quite a gap if I'd gone from the 1992 to 1997 on a 125, so I'd have probably closed that gap a little bit by maybe getting the TZR second hand, or time travelling or something. I don't know. And after that, after I got bored of that little RGV, if you could ever get bored of a 70 brake horsepower, 134 kilogram bike, yeah, after that I would have gone for a 2001 Ducati 996 SPS. They're stunning. One of the most beautiful bikes in the world, certainly at that time. And a phenomenal motorcycle, an absolutely phenomenal motorcycle. Now, I've always had a little thing for Ducatis, so I had to include a Ducati in this list, and I always will have a thing for Ducatis. I'll probably never own another one because we just don't get on. But I would still have one on this list of my amazing bike era motorcycles for this era that I live in. Once I'd got bored of repair bills and service charges on that, I would have gone out and got myself probably one of the best superbikes you could buy at the time. Some say even now it still stands its own, and that's the 2005 GSX R1000, the K5 model, and I'd gone for the yellow and black just because I always wanted a yellow and black Gixxer. I've had a go on a couple of these, and they are phenomenal motorcycles. They're quite comfy too, but I think that would have been my first sort of serious motorcycle. That's if you could call the 996 series. Once I'd thrashed the hell out of that, crashed it or whatever it was that I would have done with that one, I would have scratched my supermoto itch, and it's a bike I would still love to have now, but they're so unreliable and they're like rocking horse poop as well at the moment, and that is the 2008 Aprilia SXV 550. I think it's probably one of the best looking supermotos you could buy. Then, now, whatever. The only ones I've seen that are nicer than that to look at are custom builds, which people have put a lot of time, effort and money into making them absolutely unique and stunning. But yeah, the SXV 550 was a supermoto that I always wanted. I really loved the underseat exhaust pipes and all that sort of stuff. I think that would have seen me up to the era where I got my Moto Guzzi and the Kawasaki, and then what did I have after that? Well, we've gone through all this in a previous video. You know what bikes I've had probably better than I do because my brain's scatty. But yeah, that's what I would do if I could choose whatever era I wanted to ride motorcycles in. It would be the one I'm in right now, and I would have started at around the same time as I started my biking career, because there were some awesome bikes in the times I've been riding, don't get me wrong, I think there is some nostalgia to be said for the 60s with the choppers and the old mods and rockers scene and that sort of stuff, and I think there's something to be said for some of the early 70s and 80s bikes. There were some crazy things that come out, but the technology wasn't there. A lot of the bikes then were that good. It's literally just because we like the look of them and we remember having posters on them on our walls now that I think people love them so much. They've got a lot of character, but that's only because you have to put blood, sweat and tears to keep them on the road, to fix all the mechanical gremlins and stuff like that. I'm not saying any of these bikes would have been particularly reliable. I guess the Suzuki would have been. The TZR, I'd have probably blown that up, and the RGV, I'd have definitely blown that up on a track day or something. The Ducati, I don't know whether it would have broken down or not, but they don't have the survivability of English winters, and back in 2001 I'd have probably been riding all year round, so it wouldn't have looked pretty by the time I sold it. The Gixxer would have seen me right, that would have been grand, as long as I didn't crash it or wrap it around a tree or something stupid. They were reliable as anything. But the SXV 550, that would have definitely died terminally of complete engine meltdown and stuff, because unless you're right on top of the maintenance on them, they are a bit of a problem child. Beautiful though, beautiful nonetheless. So yes, thanks GorillaBiker, that was an awesome little challenge. It's a short but sweet little video. I'm only using some old clips that I've got from a video that I can't release because the Mr. Fish ride is cancelled, so that's why I'm doing a voiceover on this one. So sorry there's no bike noise and stuff like that. Anyway, do the challenge if you fancy it, and you can say I sent you and the GorillaBiker challenged you, or something along those lines. Anyhow, if you haven't done so already, please click that subscribe button. I'd love to have you come back and watch some more. And if you like this video, why not give it a little thumbs up? We do like the little thumbs up. And if you didn't like this video, you can always give it a little thumbs down. We don't care, we don't mind. But whatever you do, please do drop in a comment. I would love to hear from you. Anyhow, you ride safe. Take care. and I shall catch you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.
Gotta keep that body rubber side down. You know, you gotta keep that body rubber side down.